back to It Is What It Is. I'm Treasure Wilson, aka Stat Baby, along with your hosts Mase and Cam.
Killer, what's good, man?
Murder, what's up, man? How you doing, brother?
Doing good, man.
Good.
Life
good
is great.
That's what's up.
We should have some good news this week, man.
Hopefully.
In a few days.
Yeah, we looking forward to it.
We like good news.
Yeah.
We do, but I don't have some good news for the Knicks. So we're going to start with that. Knicks actually lost to the Thunder 111-100. So
Are
Mase,
you surprised?
I can't say I am.
Wasn't Sin just out here? Did he just fly back when they lost?
Sometimes.
Crazy shit. Is he in my house now? He just happened not to make it today.
Timing.
It's funny. He was asleep when it was time to leave out today. All of a sudden, he was asleep.
Yeah.
But he's still here.
Some told me to ask where is Sin.
Yeah, he's actually still here, but mysteriously, when it was time to go, he was asleep. He couldn't get up.
It's called depression.
Yeah. They lost the other night. It's funny you said that. They lost the other night. We was in the studio. They lost the Rockets. He fell asleep in the studio about 3 hours. We forgot he was in town.
Oh, man.
It happens. But wanted to ask you, so what do you think are the Knicks' weaknesses? And we had this conversation with Sim, but I kind of want to bring it back up and see what you think. Do you feel like the Knicks have the most pressure on them when you're looking at the teams in the NBA?
I think the Knicks is a great team, right? They're a good team. They have potential to be a great team. If they would just make the right necessary changes to be a great team, they would be, right? They got Josh Hart. They're starting him now. And I just think they're missing that premium shooter that when teams collapse can automatically hit a three every time. And it's just like I keep telling y'all, as great as Jalen Brunson is, his style of play is going to be the reason they don't win. Like you see the games that he get 37, right? And that's 37 minutes he played, or he gets 32. They lose by 11. If he was to remember I told you, he get 20 points or 18 points and 15 assists, they will win a championship. It's just a different style of play you gotta have as a point guard to win a championship. You're just not gonna win with the point guard getting 30 unless you're Shea. You know, when it's a smaller guard, you need the ball distributed for other people to play better.
Am I surprised? No, I'm not surprised.
No.
Surprised about what? Like, no, I'm not surprised a little bit. It's the Knicks. No.
Yeah, this is what we're talking about, Stat. Are you starting to see it now when it comes to New York teams? Because we're going to get into it.
Yeah.
St. John, same way. It's like you get your hopes up, you get right there, and it's a New York thing. I don't know. It may be a New York thing.
Yeah. So I know we're talking about weaknesses, and then another conversation that we had, because Mace, you didn't get to comment on this. Sim was also saying that he feels like they're one piece away. So both of you, what do you feel like that one piece is? Because we're seeing them go up against teams like the Thunder. It's a little bit of struggle there, but the Thunder are the Thunder. So what are your thoughts on that?
When you look at this team, even though I say they need another shooter, what they really need is another person that could command a basket from the wings, not from the bigs, from the wing. Like you gotta have at least not just a Jordan and a Scotty. You gotta have a Shea and a Williams, right? You gotta have that 1-2 punch. Pause. You gotta have Kobe, and then you got Ariza, or you got, you know what I'm saying? I remember way back in the days, or I don't want to go that far, but Eddie Jones. You need that other big wing that could get a bucket as well. This is what KD was talking about when he probably thought they were going to win in Phoenix, when it's him, and then he can command a bucket. Then you got D Booker that could command a bucket, and the same thing we're seeing in what was that, Dallas, when you got Kyrie and then you got Luka. Anytime you got two people on the wing that could get a bucket, you're gonna be a dangerous team.
More consistency from Stat. You know what's funny? Because you brought it up, Stat. When Sin said they're a piece away, he said, I don't know if it's a player or a coach. Like, what's the piece that the nigga said? I don't know if we need a new coach or we need an additional player. Like, yo, his randomness on a piece away is crazy. We may need.
It might be the coach.
It might be a coach or a new player. I'm not sure. This was verbatim where he said that's his piece away.
Yeah.
But as far as my opinion, I think they have everything they need. It's about the consistency from Cat. They don't have a outright shooter, which Mase brought up in his first take when we said that. You know, when somebody's wide open to hit the three, you got Mikal Bridges, but are you really scared when he's about to shoot? Like, you know, you certain niggas, you be like,
Kyle Korver.
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh, this nigga's shooting. This is good as going in. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think that they have a sniper on the team. But Cat Williams has ups and downs. Even though he had 18 rebounds, which is phenomenal, I believe, what does he have, 15 points? It's got to be a 1-2 punch, even if it's not a wing. Even when Eddie Jones left, you know, when Mase brought it up, it's Shaq and Kobe. You have to have, and no, we talked about the dilemma with Minnesota. Like, who is going to step up for Anthony Edwards?
Yeah.
And that's where Cat has to step up. When Cat looks good and Jalen Brunson looks good, that's when the Knicks look really, really good. When Cat goes through these droughts and everything else, that's when the Knicks don't look good. That's why everybody was panicking, pardon me, before the trade deadline. That was the best basketball the Knicks played. January and late December and through January, because they talking about bringing Greek Freak in for the call. We don't know what's going to happen. They was busting ass, killing. Soon as the fucking trade deadline's over, Cat and them niggas, Mikal Bridges, they took off 2 games. They was missing because they got comfortable. Not saying that I don't think the Knicks are comfortable like to where they don't want to try and win a championship, but if you don't get the consistency from Karl Anthony Towns night in and night out, you're not going to win a championship. I think they have all the elements outside of a sniper. But if you get productive play from Jalen Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns, there's no reason that you shouldn't go to the championship. Even last year with Jason Tatum getting hurt, they were actually winning that series before Jason Tatum got hurt. Now, I know that doesn't mean they would definitely win, but they were up. It wasn't like they wasn't up when Jason Tatum went out. So they think they beat Boston. That happened to us actually one time, but it wasn't the conference finals. We got so, when me and Mase played, we were so hyped that we beat the reigning champs in the semifinals. We went to the championship automatically thinking that we won the championship, and we didn't win the championship. So they lost to the Pacers last year. Nobody thought that they would lose to the Pacers. That's why they started naming streets after niggas like, oh, they took Boston, now we're going to the championship.
Okay, Knicks fans, there y'all have it. Now y'all know. We already kind of knew, but this kind of solidifies what we see going on.
How do you feel about the Knicks? Now that you've seen it, I know because for years you just heard us talk as New Yorkers.
Yeah.
How do you feel now watching it year after year?
I mean, one, I
got 3 years.
Yeah, no, one, I understand the hype because it's exciting. Like you're staying at the top of the East. Like you're seeing a lot of potential, but there are just certain things that aren't making sense. Like when I see a Thunder team, obviously Alex Caruso is a lot smaller than Cat. He should not be able to box out Cat and be able to grab the ball and get the rebound and be able to put shots. Like, it doesn't make sense. So we're kind of seeing them, I don't want to say getting pushed all over because that's also not the correct term because they do pretty good at holding their own. It's just the Thunder is a great team, but it's like they're right there, but it's like, what is that right there? And we can't keep making excuses because eventually, if it keeps going on like this, more pieces are going to have to change. And it's like, how long do you want to have to keep willing to wait to see something change? So that's, I feel like, the point that you guys have been saying that now I'm seeing. So.
Do you see the plethora of excuses?
Yeah, but I also understand the hype.
You understand? Oh, yeah, you from it. You from the hype.
So
Go
it's
ahead.
like, I get it. And it's like, I do also give them their credit because they do have a great opportunity right now, but it's like, are they going to be able to pass with it or are they going to fold?
How many years do you get a hype? That's a good question. How many years do you give
Do you
the
believe
hype?
the hype? How many years does it take for you to believe the hype as you're seeing it until
I'm saying, how many years do you let the hype go on before you just say, it's just hype, is never going anywhere? That's a great question.
Well, what do you think?
I'm asking you. You're the neutral one.
The neutral. I don't think you could put like a timeline on it. It just depends. Nah, you can't put a timeline on it. After a couple of years, you got to give up. you got to give up and you got to move on. I ain't gonna lie. That's in life. Like, if you keep seeing potential and it's not translating to wins or to something good, this isn't anything.
Yeah.
You got to give it up.
So me and Cam been looking at potential for 40 years.
Yeah.
We're over it.
Yeah. Too much.
I'm over it.
Too much time. I'm not over it yet. This could be a good year, though.
It's crazy that Sin is not over it. He's about as old as we are. How is he not over it?
This is a fact.
That's part of being a fan.
He seen Bernard King limp out there. He saw this. We're not making this up. PT saw Bernard limp out there. We all got excited. It didn't happen. We saw, Phil Jackson come.
Willis Reed.
Willis Reed. Yeah. Just different niggas.
Yeah, man. Wishful thinking.
Wishful thinking is a good thing too. It is.
We got Phil Jackson. We just knew the triangle. Triangle ain't even work for us. Everybody else got a chip from the triangle.
This is true.
Nigga, the triangle ain't even work in New York.
I ain't gonna lie. Triangle worked everywhere but
nigga, it worked for everybody.
That's a good point.
It worked for our team, nigga. How the triangle ain't work for them niggas?
This is very true. The triangle worked everywhere it went.
Yeah. Even Shaq and Kobe, they get pretty much bumped out of the playoffs the year before. They come back with the triangle, they get a chip. Yeah, they get 3, right?
They get another 2 when Gasol come back.
Yeah. So we were thinking, we know if we got Phil Jackson, I was ready to come home.
Triangle got 11 championships.
Yeah, it got 11 championships that I
know about.
Yeah, and it did not work.
Wishful thinking, but sometimes it works. Sometimes
it even worked in San Antonio. That every championship team been running that offense, and it still didn't work. It still didn't work.
Gotta learn.
It worked in Houston too. When Robert Horry hit that big shot, they were running. It looked like the triangle then that gave them the kick out.
Yeah.
Shout out to Tex Winters, man.
Yeah, man.
This nigga invented the triangle, man.
Yeah, that was a fire. I remember playing in the triangle. Pause. You couldn't stop it. Somebody gonna be open.
Yeah, we'll see. Okay, so now the Bucks. The Bucks have been eliminated from the playoffs, following a 127-95 blowout loss to the Spurs, ending the second longest active playoff streak in the leagues. The Bucks had made 9 straight playoff appearances before this season, so we're seeing things just go down, decline. So, Mase, what changes would you like to see from the Bucks team and organization?
This new owner has had a tough time, but shout out to the Milwaukee Bucks. They sold me the screens to the Jumbotron. So shout out to the Milwaukee Bucks. That's where we got our LEDs from, Killer.
Yeah, you told me about it.
But this new owner, it seemed like they've been having a hard time with this new regime. It seemed like from the beginning, I don't know, I'm not ready to say Doc jinxed them, but that's what it seems like. It seemed like Doc Rivers, the moment he got there, everything just fell apart. They were actually balling. I forgot the guy who was coaching used to be a former player. He wasn't that star-studded, but he was getting the job done. And even when he brought Damian Lillard in, everything was going smooth. It seemed like as soon as they gave him the job, he took that all-star weekend. Ever since then, everything just been in shambles. Sometimes one person can just change your organization that much, and I hate to put all of this on Doc Rivers, but I like to go back to how we think, growing up. If we was getting money and we let your cousin come in the car and your cousin get in the car and we start losing a lot of money, it's the last guy that was at it, man. and this is the last guy that was at it. I don't know how else to look at it. We had a great time before you got here. You get here, we get a flat tire, the plane ain't show up. It's just too much, man. We gotta give this to Doc Rivers. Pause. I want to see them not go in Doc Rivers' direction again. Stop making dramatic moves just based on people's past performance. They seem to do that a lot. They need to just blow it up, trade Giannis, get what you can get from him, and start rebuilding because the energy is off to have success.
Yeah, a lot of outside distractions as well as far as Giannis's future in Milwaukee. Once they started off not doing really well, they was doing decent. Then Giannis gets hurt, doesn't get hurt, comes back, so on and so forth. It's just been a mess outside of playing. We don't really even know who the wings are. Homie with the blonde hair is going, listen, man, it's a mess up there in Milwaukee. I wouldn't want the LED lights in my motherfucking studio with all that bad luck on them, murder. You might want to put the holy water on them joints, my nigga. We ain't got time for that juju in the house, my nigga. Unless they the joints from the championship. I don't know what year you got them.
I got them from the champ.
Yeah, all right, then good. That's from then they get money. But I just think in general, I don't really have much to say because it's been a shitty season. What I will say is this. I'm more mad, even though they were eliminated for the playoffs, that Giannis didn't play. You know Wemby was in town, nigga. Come on, B. You not going to play? We want to see that matchup to see what it's going to look like the next couple of years. And I'm thinking maybe Giannis is saying we're eliminated, so on and so forth. So is Giannis going to take off the last 11, 10 games of the season? Because if he comes back in 3 games, I'm going to be like, are you doing the Joel Embiid to the Joker situation? Why didn't you play against Wemby the other day? Soreness, pause. I ain't get a haircut. All the crazy shit still happens. So I'm not putting I'm not going to do that to Giannis. But his last few months in Milwaukee has been suspect. It's been under suspicion. He says he wants to get traded without saying he wants to get traded. Then when he doesn't get traded, he starts putting up the Wolf of Wall Street memes. He's not going anywhere. I love Milwaukee. I wouldn't dare leave Milwaukee. You had October, November, December, January to say that. You didn't say that. You're looking at houses in Long Island. For what? And when he can't leave, he didn't want to leave. It's a mess. We'll figure out what's going on in Milwaukee or in the offseason when they make some moves, and then we'll get back to it then. So now, my biggest disappointment was Giannis didn't play against Wemby, and I want to see that matchup.
Yeah, I think it's crazy that players are ducking players. I really don't like this for the NBA. That you really got – and I don't want to say he's ducking them as well, but sometimes you just want to play against a star player in your new situation. He probably don't even want to go with that right now. He want a better team to be able to play against them because right now people will formulate the future based upon how this turns out. And right now it'll be like playing 4 people against one person, and that's not going to go well.
Yeah. So looking to the future and speaking of the future, especially because we know that the Bucks have a lot of things pending right now. We don't really exactly know what direction they're going. Hypothetically speaking, if Giannis does leave the Bucks, do you think that helps his legacy or do you think that hurts it? Like, do you like to see players kind of getting traded around to like be able to like go get those rings, or do you think like they should be able to like build with a team from the ground up and continue to help win that team championships?
I think those days of just staying with one organization holistically is over, right? You'll have some guys that do it. Probably SGA will do it. Hopefully Steph Curry would do it. Maybe. People like that. But for the most part, you probably won't see a lot of these players stay at the same location for the duration of their tenure, right? Because it's a money first league now. It's not the league that we grew up in. So my whole ideology, sometimes I gotta lose it because this league that we're looking at is not I want to be better than everybody else on the floor. It's not I want to be the best shooter, the best defender. I'm here to win all the rings. If there's 20 rings, I want all 20 rings. It's not that league anymore. It's get your ring and then get the rest of the careers, get as maximum of money you can make. And I think that creates a different product. And that's what we're looking at. So I made the adjustment. I'm no longer holding them responsible for what I used to hold them responsible for. Not even you, Stat. I understand. At any moment, if you could do it, you're going to do it. So I don't get mad at it anymore.
I think that so first I'll talk about Giannis. I think it's two things, right? The organization is trying to do what they can do to help Giannis win another championship because they signed everybody in his family. God, their nephews and sons may have contracts coming up in the next 9-10 years. I don't know. Everybody, and the Bucks have done everything as far as GM's concerned. We don't even know the perks that he gets that's not talked about, but it's not equaling out to wins. And then that's first. So I don't think that the organization isn't trying. I think they're just not an attractive city as far as basketball is concerned. Not my opinion. I'm just saying as far as trying to recruit players to come to Milwaukee. It was a time where it was sexy to play with Giannis, but some people, basketball analysts that don't feel Giannis is a top player. We actually had this conversation last week. So as far as the Bucks are concerned, I think they're trying. It just hasn't panned out, even with bringing somebody like Doc Rivers in. It has just not worked out. Now, to Mase's point, I do agree with him. Two things, it was one thing I agree with him and one thing I don't agree with him with. Mm-hmm. I agree with him when he's saying that niggas they get their ring and want to get out of here. And I agree with that. Giannis brought a championship to Milwaukee. I'm talking about Giannis now. I'm not talking about everybody else with their situation. Giannis brought a championship to Milwaukee, the first championship since Lou Alcindor. I ain't even going to call him Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Some of y'all don't even know Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was Lou Alcindor. Did you know that, Stat? Exactly. That's my point. His first name, do you know Kareem Abdul-Jabbar?
Yes.
Yeah, he was Lou Alcindor before he went Muslim. So they didn't have a championship since Lou Alcindor. Bless you. I'm not even going to call the nigga Kareem because he wasn't Kareem when he won the championship. So him winning the championship in Milwaukee is a big deal. The part that I don't agree with it when it's like, get your money. The reason I don't say get your money, I think niggas they're making so much money that they're not even doing math. Because if you stay with the team you're on, you get the super duper max. Once you leave and go to another team, you're not eligible for that max deal for another 4 or 5 years. So I don't even think it's about getting the most money. It's about, I need to figure out how I could join forces with the win. Because if you was smart and just wanted them, I ain't gonna say smart, I'm not trying to offend anybody. If it was about money, you stay and you get Supermax. We talked about how that nigga, what's that nigga, Nico from Dallas, your man, PT?
Yeah.
Nigga gonna trade Luka right before the super duper max? If I'm Luka, I'm looking for this nigga. Like, yo, how you gonna trade me before I'm about to get 400 and something million? So now I'm not even eligible for that for 4 or 5 years. What kind of nigga is you? So that's the only part I disagree with when I'm like, but not for Giannis, he won his chip. But I'm saying niggas is like, yo, man, we're making so much money anyway. I just want to win. Where can I go to win? We seen James Harden, and no slight to James Harden, just do whatever the hell he wants to do. When he wants to do it, actually. At any given Sunday. He was with Houston. Houston offered him, I remember at this time it was a big deal, however many years ago, 2-year deal for $103 million, which was like ridiculous 4 years ago. Nah, what KD and Kyrie doing in Brooklyn? They all right? Yo, make it happen. I want to go to Brooklyn. Go to Brooklyn. It don't work out. Kyrie, they didn't want to get the shot for the pandemic. KD ended up getting hurt, so it never panned out. Then James Harden said, I did not say Brooklyn. I said Philly. Why would y'all tell me to Brooklyn? I never said Brooklyn. I said Philly. Go to Philly. Get with Joel Embiid. Tyrese Maxey up and coming. I can't even think of my nigga name. The fucking Daryl Morey, the GM who was the GM, in Houston, his man, get him some more bread. It doesn't work out. He tells Daryl Morey, re-sign me than trade me, because if I get traded, I ain't going to be able to get this money. Daryl Morey re-signs him. The trade is taking a long time to come. Now Daryl Morey gets sucker because he ain't keep his word. Yeah, you said after I do this deal, you promised to trade me. Daryl Morey just slacking his feet, trading him. All right, bet. I'm coming in training camp fat. Pause. All right, I'm out of shape. Fuck it. Remember James Harden was coming in out of shape? I don't know if niggas remember that. Showed up to training camp in preseason, mad out of shape. 1 year, not the same year as Philly, but I'm just saying this is the tricks he does. To the point where he says, you know what? Get this nigga back to the Clippers, man. You know what I'm saying? He wants to go play at the Clippers. He's with Kawhi. It doesn't work out. They've been there a couple years. That Kawhi, James Harden thing doesn't work out. Now, mind you, he's all over the place. What they doing in Cleveland, though? They hide over there? They looking like they could win in Cleveland. Man. Donovan Mitchell, Mobley, they right there. Cleveland's sexy. Is Cleveland sexy? Not shout out them Ohio niggas, but I'm just saying that if you from Los Angeles, like, yo, nah, I'd like Cleveland. James Harden do what he want to do. So sometimes it ain't even about the money because he already made a shitload of money. And then he already has endorsement deals. He's trying to get to where he could get the win. So sometimes niggas is like, man, fuck that. Where can I win at? And that's my example for that.
Do you think he can win at Cleveland?
I think they could possibly win, yeah. But then at the same time, we thought he could win everywhere else that he went to as well. But I think possibly, my opinion on the last few teams, think about it, man. They was decent and fit. You know, this was with a healthy Joel Embiid. So when you see James Harden, oh, Joel Embiid, it's going. James Harden, oh shit, Kawhi Leonard, oh shit, John Wall might come over there. Oh shit, James Harden, Chris Paul. I forgot the African center they had. You know, Chris Paul, that's the best chance they had, but Chris Paul ended up getting hurt.
With Houston, right?
Yes, that to me, that was the closest they could have got when Chris Paul was there, but Chris Paul ended up getting hurt.
Eric Gordon, they had all the pieces.
Yeah, so. But I do think that they probably could win, but we always think that when James Harden goes somewhere.
Yeah. Well, when you bring up James Harden, because this is kind of like a debate. Some people are like, well, James Harden is just moving around. Like, he's just trying to get a win. Like, as a viewer, in your perspective, do you see that as a bad thing, or you really feel like it doesn't matter because you should be wanting to go for the win instead of just giving loyalties to a certain organization? You just feel like it shouldn't matter. Like, you should go for the win.
I mean, you should go for the win. I mean, that's the whole purpose of playing, to win, right? I want to win. I don't want to be on a team not winning. So just because the city is sexy, nah, I don't want to be the biggest loser in a sexy city. I want to win, right? So I understand what James Harden is saying. I'll go to Cleveland if I have to win. I think when it's all said and done, he might end up in Miami. And you'll like that stat. It'll be him and Giannis in Miami when it's all said and done. I think that's where the roads are leading. Or if he go to New York, I mean, he won't be in New York, but that's as close as I could see him getting to Miami. If even that, I would still want Giannis, but the way these conversations are going, I have no idea who we're going to get. But Cam, what are your thoughts? Yeah, you're going to get Giannis and Bam, right? Bam going to be out of there. I don't know about that, but okay, I don't know, but things always happen. So I don't know. You think people can't move? You wouldn't move Giannis move Bam for Giannis, Killer? Pat Riley will. Yeah, I don't know what status thinking. I'm saying I don't know. You really don't know. Listen, let me tell you something. That loves the love story. I get it. Let me tell you something. I love Bam. I think Bam, and people may take a Cam because the 83 points. I'm still sticking to like it wasn't within the game, even though Murder did say it is. Niggas ain't paid Dwayne Wade, nigga. Oh, yeah. Come on, bro. All his family talking Wade ain't get paid. So if Dwayne Wade could go, Bam Adebayo absolutely could go. They was calling that shit Wade County. Wasn't even Dade County no more. It was Wade County. Yeah, he put chips in the building. Yeah, Pat said, I can't pay you like you think I'm going to pay you. It was, you know how nasty it was for me to watch Dwayne Wade in Chicago, then to be in Cleveland. Like, I didn't like it. I didn't like it one bit. I think that was the end of playing for loyalty. To your question,
Yes.
Stat, when a person like Wade doesn't get paid, there's no more just, oh, for the love of the city, the people love you, you're part of the community, all those words, you're a pillar in the society. No, I need cash today. And if you don't have it, we're out of here. When you trade somebody like, or even let D-Wade go, however it went, he was never supposed to walk out of that building. I think it put a damper and a dent in the whole idea of that whole family thing that they used to sell in Miami. It's no family if D Wade doesn't get paid. I don't want to hear family. You can put that with the rest of the families, right? Not trying to hear
Not
that.
just that, D Wade. Without D Wade being in Miami, you don't get Chris Bosh and you don't get LeBron James. It's part of the recruiting process to get them there, to get you to 4 championships and winning 2 out of the 4 championships that they've been to. You don't just be, as much as I respect Pat Riley and Alonzo Mourning and, Spoelstra, you don't get LeBron James and Chris Bosh without D Wade.
Yeah.
He's the reason they've been there. Now, Stat, to answer your question, is the hoe gonna go to the nigga with the most money house every night? Since one nigga fell off. Murder cool with it.
What am I cool with?
So if you want to win, if your man ain't winning, I want to be with the winners.
That's normally what's going to happen. Yeah, you're right. That's normally what's going to happen. She's not going to value.
I'm not calling any NBA player a hoe at all. I have mad respect for y'all because y'all will see where I'm coming from in a minute. But if you go everywhere, because it looked like this nigga's winning, look like a jump off.
No, I said I want to win. I didn't say I'm jumping with niggas to win. Pause. So I understand the difference of the two. Yeah, I want to win, but I'm not going just anywhere to win.
You said you would rather be in a whack city than be the biggest loser in a good city. So it seemed like you'll go anywhere to win.
No, I'm basically saying that the city doesn't matter that much if you're losing. You can't really enjoy a big city if you're the joke of the town in that city.
Right. So if your man was up one day and now he's the joke of the town, you out. If you're a jump off.
I wouldn't have a man, but I get what you're saying.
I understand what you said, but I was just correlating it to a female. I never accused you. I said you're cool with it. That's what I said. But at the end of the day, I get it as well because now the flip side of that is this. Same thing kind of what Mase was saying. There's no loyalty with ownership. So that's why
that's what I was speaking to. That's what I was speaking to, Cam. I'm not, you saying I'm cool with it. I'm basically saying I understand it. You know, like Chris Rock said, I'm not saying you should do this, but I do understand what happened here. To act like I don't understand is crazy.
I didn't say that, man. It's just like the line stepping is habitual at this point, man.
No, because you saying I'm saying something I didn't say. I didn't say I agree with it. I said I understand it.
You said, you said if you got to go to be with the winners, I don't want to be with the losers, the biggest loser in the best city.
No, I said I want to be a winner.
Okay, I understand that. But I took what you said and related it to a female, and then because of my correlation, you're spinning it. So it don't seem like, then you say I wouldn't be a female. You know I'm not calling you a female. You know that, bro. I'm just taking what you said and spun it into what a female would do, not you.
Yeah.
Of course not you. But what I'm saying with ownership is that, look, you think about Isaiah Thomas with the Boston Celtics, right? His sister died. He broke a hip. Yo, man, that nigga was playing.
And he tried to play.
He was playing on a broke hip. And God bless, man. This man, little sister died, and he tried to play in the playoffs against the Cleveland Cavaliers with a broke hip and a sister who passed away that same week. And Boston said, we can't really do nothing for you because Kyrie Irving's available. Thank you for your services. And it's been downhill for Isaiah Thomas. People don't remember yesterday. Isaiah Thomas was the man for Boston. Not no Tatum, young Tatum. I don't even know if there's, Tatum, Jalen. He was the man. And they just said, no, sorry. Then to Mace's point, Wade, all that. Listen, man, you didn't keep LeBron and Bosh here. You could go too. You go figure it out wherever you need to go figure it out at. Ownership is not loyal to you. We talking Harrison Barnes got traded at halftime. Then Trae Young traded him in the game the other day or some shit. I see nigga giving nigga a 5 in the middle of the game. Like bro, ownership and management, they are not loyal. So when players want to get up and go, even though it may not be my cup of tea, I can't get mad at it because they don't care about you. They really don't. I know I'm about to switch sports, but we seen the nigga Bill Belichick try to get Tom Brady out of here for Jimmy Garoppolo. Tom had to go to ownership. Like, yo, what's up to man? Yo, get the nigga under control. Matter of fact, get him under control and get Jimmy Garoppolo out of here. I don't even like the nigga in the building no more. And then matter of fact, when my contract's up, after I win you another couple Super Bowls, I'm out. Then I'm gonna win another Super Bowl. Now, this was your man who made me leave. I would have stayed. But the nigga's wildin' because they tried to get rid of Tom. Bill Belichick tried to get rid of Tom Brady ahead of time. And I get where Bill Belichick is coming from. You got to realize when you're trying to run an organization, you're trying to see the future because you think one day somebody's going to get, you don't get a lot of Tom Brady's. You don't get a lot of Aaron Rodgers. I'm not even comparing Joe Flacco to them, but you don't get people to play this long with this good with longevity. So ownership, management, GMs, etc., are trying to figure out what's next. And sometimes you put yourself in a precarious situation because because his birth certificate says he's old, that doesn't mean that he's old. I'm just talking about the Patriots, but it's no loyalty from ownership. What Mase actually was saying, and I agree with him with. So when the players get up and do it, I can't get mad at them. It just looks awkward sometimes. So when James Harden goes from city to city to city to city, you may be like, yo, what's up with him? But are they really going to be loyal to James Harden as well? That's the question.
Good conversation. A lot of people do get mad, though, when players move around. That's why I was like, what's you guys' perspective on it? But also...
Listen, we had Lenny Cook on the show, one of our first guests.
Yes.
He told us to our face, all three of us, it's harder. LeBron had a harder road than Michael Jordan because he switched teams. And when he said that on one of our first shows when we was filming, I'm like, this is how these niggas be thinking. You think LeBron had a harder road than Michael Jordan to get his championships? LeBron James went with, and that's my brother, that's my nigga. But I love Michael Jordan. I'm an old nigga, so I'm going with Michael Jordan, even though LeBron's my man and everything. But you went and played with D. Wade and Chris Bosh. Then after you left there, Kyrie ascended, you went and played with Kyrie, and then you say, you know what? I don't think this Wiggins niggas is ready. Before I get back to Cleveland, get rid of him and get the Kevin Love nigga. I like Kevin Love. Get him in the building. That's what I want to do. I want y'all a championship. Y'all ain't want that. Yo, tell that nigga Anthony Davis stop playing in the fourth quarter. I don't want him playing in the fourth quarter no more. Get him to L.A. LeBron's arguably the greatest player GM ever because he's GMing shit as he goes, sorry, not disrespectful. I think it's actually genius that you are that good and have that much control that you could get players that are going to help you win a championship because not only did he get the players to come to the team that, outside when he left Miami, but not only did he get the right players to come to the team, it all actually equaled out the championships. So it ain't like he just was randomly saying Kevin Love and not Wiggins. It equaled out to the championship. It wasn't randomly like Anthony Davis got to L.A. and they won a championship. So to me, that's genius as a player and GM, even though they'll never say that. But I see what y'all doing, nigga. Big Ohio, nigga.
At the end of the day, it's still a business. So if you can call the shots, a lot of people would do the same thing. Okay, so Luka's been suspended for a game. We will discuss after the break.
She called this thing about toxic. 4 years and counting. Got you feeling like an option. Maybe I'm my own problem, babe. She tired of hearing I don't know. My stubborn in me won't fall. Dealing with this thing called trust. But she really thinking about it. She wanna be free.
Welcome back. So Luka has been suspended for 1 game without pay after receiving his 16th technical foul. So he will miss tonight's game versus the Wizards. Mase, do you have any concerns for the Lakers as we're seeing where they're at, where they're headed, their standings, all the above?
No, I think this Laker team is doing everything that we perceived they could do. In fact, they're exceeding expectations, right? They're at 4 or 5 right now. They're doing better than a lot of people thought they would do. I would like to say shout out to JJ Redick and that entire staff. Even Austin Rivers seems like he's continuing to come. Not Austin, is it?
Austin Reeves.
Austin Reeves.
And they're third, by the way.
Yeah, Austin Reeves is starting to come into his own, becoming a premier player, and that I like to see that because that becomes the future, right? When LeBron is no longer there, you got Austin Reeves showing up at that same level each night, showing that he could be a really potential superstar in this league as well. So I'm looking forward to that. I like where the Lakers are going.
Exact question set. So
Yeah, so basically Luka's not going to play tonight versus the Wizards, low stakes, but what do you think are Lakers' weaknesses? Do you have any concerns for them as we're seeing them move forward?
Luka's attitude. That's it, personally. He misses this game because of the technical fouls. He exceeded. You can't miss this. You have to control yourself. Luka misses a shot or doesn't get a call. Everything is this. Everything. And I'm a Luka fan, but enough's enough. You can't. This is. They might need to do the over-under on this when it comes to Luka. They might need to see what's the over and under 19 times a game. So the reason that he's being suspended, and luckily it's the Wizards, is because once you get a certain amount of technical fouls, you get suspended for a game. So that's the reason that he's missing this game. And I'm not sure, I have to check on the rule stat. If he gets another technical foul, does it start all over or does he get suspended again? That's the real question about it. But you have to control yourself. You're not going to get every call. Everything is not about you. I think that he's an outstanding player, a great player, top in the league. You know what I'm saying? Great first options. Lakers got a certified superstar. Luka hits a game-winning shot the other night, which was tremendous. Then they have another game to where they're down 1 point and Luka has the ball. He gets caught. He picks his dribble up. It's about 5 seconds left. He's spinning around. Austin Reeves you could have passed to, or LeBron James could have passed to. Instead, you take a spinning turnaround three from 4 or 5 feet behind the three-point line. We know you hit one the other night, but you have other good players on the team that you have to trust. You have Austin Reeves and you have LeBron James, and sometimes it's about making the right basketball position, the right basketball play, pardon me. We sit there and think about this, and I hate doing it. I hate it, man. I hate bringing up Michael Jordan and Kobe and all these other players. Michael Jordan won 2 championships from being double-teamed. He goes to the basket, double-team. He passes it to Steve Kerr. Steve Kerr knocks the shot down to help them win another championship. Another series, he gets double-teamed, going to the basket. John Paxson passes the ball, knocks the shot down for a championship. Luka has to trust his teammates, and I think that he does, not saying he doesn't trust it, I think that he plays a lot of hero ball, so he thinks, I'm going to have to get 60. I have to shoot the last shot. It has to be me. And sometimes it's about making the right basketball play. And when I see some of the selfishness, not in a bad way, I think he just doesn't know any better, that's not going to always help you win a championship. You have LeBron James on your team. Trust him. Even though we see you hit a game winner, that was not a great shot you took the other night. And there was other options. There was playing times to do other things.
Yeah. So to answer...
Do you think Reeves is another option?
As far as?
Him to kick out to.
For an open shot for the game winner?
Yeah.
If you could give it, if you're Michael Jordan, you could give it to John Paxson and Steve Kerr, yes. If Austin Reeves misses it, that's on Austin Reeves. But I think Austin Reeves is better in this situation as a player than John Paxson was or Steve Kerr was or as a teammate. Steve Kerr wasn't the third option or second option on the Bulls. John Paxson wasn't the second option, a third option on the Bulls. Austin Reeves, depending on what night it is, he's the second and third option. So that's the only reason I say yes, even though those guys were shooters.
Yeah.
And to answer your question, so it doesn't reset, but for every 2 additional texts received during the regular season, the player or coach will be automatically suspended without pay for an additional game. So if he were to get 2 more, that's kind of...
And then what does that do for the playoffs? So you got 10, 11 games now. So basically, if he gets another 2 texts, he's suspended another game.
Yeah.
And now we're looking at this, right? You're the Lakers. You're not going to catch San Antonio, but you're only a game and a half ahead of Denver. You're 2.5 games ahead of Minnesota and Houston.
Yep.
So we have enough time for where the Lakers may potentially fall into from the 3 seed to the 6 seed, which is a big deal.
Yeah. And then now I'm just curious because we're seeing how close those are. And even aside from the actual records that they have right now, when you're looking at the Nuggets, the Timberwolves, and the Rockets, Mase, who do you think is the bigger threat?
The who again?
Nuggets, Timberwolves, and Rockets, because we're seeing the Lakers is right above them, but anything could
The biggest
happen.
threat to them? I think all to the Lakers, probably the Rockets. The Rockets is the biggest threat to them. I think any of the other teams and equivalently the Timberwolves, they could beat them as well. Both of them, but I would go with Rockets.
Okay, so you're kind of putting the Nuggets low. You're just not really sure.
If it comes, I think they could beat the Nuggets better, easier than they could beat Anthony Edwards if he's really playing well and Randall show up. I think that's a harder matchup for them, and I think they certainly won't beat the Rockets.
Are you saying who's a bigger threat if they play each other, or who's a bigger threat catching them?
Catching them. But like I'm saying, I know we're seeing what the scores are, like wins are, but aside from that, like who do you think is like, nah, this is the team that might
That's what I'm saying.
be able to catch up.
Catch up to them, right? I got to see the schedule. You know, I wish I answered that question when I could see who's playing who, because some people's schedule may be tougher than others. If I had the schedule I had it in front of me, I could have answered that question better. But Houston may have an easier schedule than Denver. Minnesota may have an easier schedule than Houston. I don't know. So that's a great question. But all 3 of them teams have the potential to catch up to the Lakers. It's just about scheduling for the Lakers, Denver, Minnesota, and Houston, because Lakers may have a tough schedule coming up. We know Washington isn't tough, but you never know.
Yeah, good point. Maybe we'll revisit that one because I do think that that's a good deep dive, but we can get into that another day just because they are real close. So they could really go any which way right now.
Right.
Okay, so.
Yeah, so I got the schedule right here. The Rockets, you're right. We would have to change that because the Rockets got New York, they got Milwaukee. They got an easier schedule, so I kind of picked a good one. They got New York, they got Milwaukee, Utah, Golden State, Phoenix, Philadelphia, Memphis, and Minnesota.
That's the Rockets. And then the Nuggets have the Jazz, the Spurs, the Blazers, the Grizzlies, Thunder, Spurs again. So, but like I said, we can revisit because we can see how these next few games are going to go. But I want to get you guys' predictions before we see kind of where it's going. Okay. So GG Jackson says refs favor vets like KD. So after the Grizzlies lost to the Rockets 119-109 on Friday night, Jackson critiqued calls going in favor of Durant. Obviously, people are always going to complain about the refs, but specifically and recently, we've hearing a lot of complaints. He said, KD can jab step and just jump up and down. Your hand is right there. You clearly see on the replay that nobody touched him. So, Mase, what's your opinion on his take and then just what you've seen from refs as of recently?
Let Killer go first on that.
Damn.
When it comes to KD and
basically refs favoring vets, like, do you feel like
they earned it? You know, you see that shit. I ain't gonna act like I ain't see. I don't see it with KD the other day what he's talking about, but You know, that be shit in the barbershop niggas be talking about. Like they'll see, you know, that's one of Sin's favorite shits too. Come on, nigga, you ain't gonna get that call. You ain't Kobe, nigga. you ain't so-and-so, nigga. Now you get them calls. You can't get that call. So some people do think that, are the refs gonna say that? No, they're not gonna say that. But that is one of those, what is it? Folk, I don't know, folk hero, whatever them, I don't know.
Fables.
Yeah, one of them shits murder. I don't know the right terminology right now, but one of them shits the niggas in the barbershop think that
Legends.
Yeah, they like, legend has it that if you a veteran, you get not just a veteran, a nice veteran, you get more calls. I didn't see the plays that he's talking about. I didn't watch that game, but people do say that. So I'm not sure if it's right or wrong or indifferent. So I really have no opinion on that because you got replay challenge now. They didn't even imagine when there wasn't no replay challenge. You just had to live with the shit. Now, I know you only get a certain amount of game. It ain't like you can challenge everything, but use it if it's necessary.
Yeah.
And who did they play this game?
Yeah, they played the Grizzlies.
Yeah, but what was the score?
It was 119 to 109.
I mean, whatever.
Ain't nobody worried about you.
Yeah.
Respectfully.
Yeah.
That's what she was going to say.
Yeah, like, yo, it's the Grizzlies. Like, I can see if it was a close playoff race, like,
Yeah.
yo, you're fucking it up for us to get into the playoffs. Like, okay.
He's advocating. And I'm thinking the word is superstition, maybe? Stigma? I'm trying to think. Maybe one of them.
It ain't superstition. Superstition is like, you know, when you, don't walk under a ladder. Like, you know what I'm saying? This is more like, niggas do be saying that. I don't know what the word is, but yeah, it's more one of them shits like, some people could say it. It's one of them shits you can't prove.
Yeah.
But you can say it.
You always see it.
Yeah, like you can't prove it.
I can't think of the word either. I'm like, dang, I wish I could. But
like
the comments, you'll tell us.
Like a parable or something like that. Yeah.
We named a whole bunch of things. Okay, so last thing before we wrap, we're switching gears from basketball going to golf. So Tiger Woods actually had a DUI arrest in Florida. So he was involved in a car crash, and the sheriff said Woods was driving a Land Rover at a high speed when he attempted to pass a truck hauling a pressure cleaner. He was arrested on suspicion of misdemeanor DUI with property damage and refusal to submit to a lawful test. So he had actually refused to submit to a requested urine test to screen for medications or drugs. I hate that this is like the news of Tiger Woods because we don't really talk of him much.
Hear anything.
Yeah. So, Mase, what's your opinion on what's going on with Mr. Woods?
Man, nobody got hurt?
No.
If you're in a car crash with Tiger Woods, you get a book deal, you get all kind of things. If nobody's hurt, right? It's so many people that would have loved to be in that car accident with Tiger Woods that they get to write their book, right? They get to go on a publicity tour. They get to make money off just so many things. That is actually a blessing to somebody else. I'm not calling it a blessing, but I see a lot of people would see that as that. I think it's unfortunate for Tiger because you don't hear anything about him. But I would say this, whenever a person is normally caught doing something, they've done it many times before. This is just the time they got caught. So I think that's the way the law of the land works.
Look, when it comes to this, right, this has been my assessment stat since I seen this the other day.
Okay.
I'll just read it out. November 2009, crashed his SUV into a fire hydrant and tree outside his Florida home. February 2021, involved in a severe single-car rollover in California, causing significant leg injuries. No charges was filed, and it was not deemed a DUI, even though it should have been. 2017, October, pled guilty to reckless driving, avoiding a DUI conviction, and entered a diversion program. May 2017, arrested in Jupiter, Florida, after being found asleep behind the wheel of his car with the engine running. Now 2026, arrested after a rollover crash in Jupiter, Florida. Police say he was impaired. though the breathalyzer test showed 000 alcohol, and he refused to take a urine test. What I came to the conclusion is this, everybody. Tiger Woods be doing some shit that he don't want nobody to be doing, and it's foul, because you could have been got a driver by now. You would have been have a driver, but the shit Tiger must be doing, he don't even want a driver to see what the fuck he's doing. It got to be damn low dirty shame. The shit that he's been doing that you don't want the driver to see what you're doing. We know Tiger can afford a driver, but you can't. Whatever he got going on, a driver can't even see what he got going on. So this is what I related to. You have too many car incidents and that you got caught for. Imagine what you don't get caught for. You don't want the driver to see what you doing, nigga?
Yeah, that's crazy.
He got some shit going on, man. So, habits.
Let me ask you something. What if you're driving a Tesla, like they got the self-driving? Should you get a ticket if you weren't driving, if the car was driving itself?
No, it's not your fault.
Nope.
No. How you gonna get a ticket? You blaming Tesla. I bought this car because it drives itself.
So if you're in a car accident and the car was driving itself, like let's say Tiger Woods was in a Tesla and he was in this accident, but he was drunk, he get out the car. Is he now like driving drunk because the car is self-driving?
No. They do self-driving cars, especially like if you're intoxicated all the time.
Okay.
Fair.
Like you can't hop in, and especially if you don't want to like interact with the Uber driver.
When we be leaving work, I see mad cars driving themselves. It's all type of cars on the strip just driving themselves. That's the best ones. Not to you don't have a driver, but you jump right in that shit. You be drunk, jump in it. Whoever company this is, I ordered this shit because I knew I was going to get drunk.
Waymo.
Yeah. Right.
Well, how do you guys feel about self-driving cars? Like, do you guys like them or you're not really?
As long as you're in a city, down south it may be dangerous because they can't read some of the back streets. Or like different country, different country towns.
Yeah.
I ain't with it. I seen this shit. Even though we seen these shits out, where we work outside or whatever, I was watching the news and one of them shits was stuck in the middle of the fucking intersection. You seen that shit? I'm like, look at this shit. A short. You get a short, now you just stuck in the fucking middle of an intersection. I seen that shit on the news. I said, see? But they probably make so much money that they could take an L on one.
I had two accidents in the past 3 weeks. I had two accidents, car accidents.
Well, just be clear, Larry, you're not in the car accident.
No, I'm not in that car accident.
He runs insurance.
Yeah. So I do property damage. So two of those self-driving ones turn right in front of people, and it's all okay. They got it on camera. So they got insurance, though, so that's a good thing.
Yeah. So you're going to get paid.
Yeah.
So who shows up? Who shows up for like court if it's an accident and it's self-driving?
Well, they have insurance. They have commercial insurance.
Oh, okay.
So they'll have like an insurance company represent them and then do what they got to do.
But somebody got to show up too. It isn't like it isn't like a robot made them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Somebody has to actually show up. Yeah. But I'm not with it. No, me personally, I can't trust it. It's good because anything can happen. You just don't know. And then they'll make enough money that, God forbid, it be anything really, really bad. They'll make enough money they can pay off. Like, not jinxing anything because we do a lot of flying. You see a plane crash, right? Let's just say, let's use a fake airline like Cameraman Airlines. I don't want to say that.
Yeah.
They'll have the same airline running it an hour later. Like that airline ain't happened because they can afford it. And people will get right back on the airline and fly because they're making hundreds of millions of dollars. The show don't stop. You know what I'm saying? I remember I missed the show coming out here because flights were delayed. And that's why you say superstitious. I'll just tell you how far my superstition run. I told Murder. I said, listen, first of all, I don't fly Spirit Airlines. No disrespect to Spirit Airlines whatsoever. I don't never heard about Spirit Airlines going there. Only thing with me was Spirit Airlines. Last time I flew Spirit Airlines was 20 years. It was a long, long time ago. and I had a window seat, and I seen water sliding down the window, and I put my hand in the window, and it was inside the window. I said, yo, is this precipitation coming through the motherfucking window? So I didn't fly Spirit since then, but you know, you don't hear anything really too bad about Spirit. But the moral of the story is this. It was the only flight that would have got me here for the short time. I did Zoom that night, but it was Spirit Airlines. And so when I booked it, the flight number was 777 at 911. I said, I can't do this flight. I'm not doing that flight. 777 Spirit at 911?
Yeah.
I'm going to be on Zoom tonight. Yo. I can't do that one, man.
Which is crazy because Spirit actually has zero. I've never taken Spirit, but they actually have zero fatal crashes. Like, they're
that's
actually one of the safest airlines.
Yeah, Sin was mad at me about it because I called him before I booked it. I said, how's Spirit? Because he be flying Spirit.
Yeah.
He said, they don't have no plane car. I said, bro, this is not a car agreement.
Yeah.
I'm having a pissing contest, which I might get on. I'm trying to figure something out.
Yeah. They just have a lot of delays.
But then when I looked at that flight number and time is supposed to take off, couldn't do it.
I just remember that post. There's this one time I'll never forget when they came to fix your plane with the screwdriver. But because he was sitting at the front of the plane and he had to come fix it. I don't know what they were fixing. You were like, I'm not going to make it.
I recorded that shit. Yeah, oh, yeah, I put it on Instagram.
So
I said, nigga got a regular screwdriver up there on the outside of the plane. Nah, man, I ain't getting on this.
What could you possibly be fixing? And then as far as self-driving cars, I actually take them a lot. Like, I'm a fan. Like, you don't have to talk to people. You can play your own music. I just don't like them in San Francisco because the hills are super steep, and that's a little scary because you can't brake. You got to expect the car to brake.
So is it like 2 seats on this side and 2 seats on that
No,
side?
it's like 4. It's literally 4 seats. You sit in the back, and then it's just like, are you ready? And it's like, yeah, everybody put your seatbelts on, and then it goes.
You know when you ain't gonna like it no more? When you get to where you going and that shit don't open up because the doors is jammed.
That has not happened yet. We're gonna
Then
hope
you
that
gonna get
doesn't happen.
claustrophobic. Oh my, get me out. Get me out.
Guys, it's not gonna happen.
Not gonna wish that on. Yeah, I'm not gonna wish for you.
Happen. And next time I'm in a self-driving car, I'll make sure to take a video to show y'all because it's pretty fun. If you guys have taken a self-driving car, let us know in the comments down below. But that is all the time that we have for today. Thank y'all for watching. And as always, it is what it is.